Well, before you start, let me just I finally found those figures. Well, capital requirement for broker-dealer was raised from 70 million to 300 million. That's up about 328.57%. Broker-owner license now goes for 200 million, up from 40 million. And for registrars, the minimum capital becomes 150 million from 50 million naira, and the list goes on and on. So,
yeah, I mean, if I speak on this, I rather speak on behalf of my firm because I'm not authorized to speak on behalf of the stockbrokers or on the market operator association. For me, for my firm, we've met all the capital requirements as we speak today, and also the one that is announced. But when you look at it as an economy, and you want to really do financial inclusion, you want as many people as possible to be included in the financial system, you have to be very careful about the kind of policies that are brought out and the timing. It's quite clear that for any operator, there are minimum capital requirements for you to even operate your businesses efficiently. But the other side, you also have to look at it, okay? This is an economy in which you're trying to bring in as many people into the economy as possible. I've listened to what SEC has adduced, being their reasons for the jack, being that they've noticed that 20% of the operators account for 80% of the trade. But the truth is that they should look further, right? Most of those operators are only getting accounts from maybe a PFA or maybe a foreign investor. The real way to look at the stockbroker's performance is how many people are you trading for, right? Are you executing trades for 200,000 people or 1,000 people? Then you now start talking about the reach. We are still encouraging. We have less than 1 million people in Nigeria that are in the capital market out of a country of almost 170 million. So there's still a lot of work to be done. Who is going to do this work? If you consolidate and we end up having 20 stockbroking houses, would they be incentivized enough to go down the market and bring less people into the financial inclusion? There is a lot of more benefits to the entire country. So I think it's something which the SEC would have to look at once again. And I think the other avenue that is also of concern in the market is the timing. Vis-a-vis the demutualization process.
But then everybody is saying that, especially the Securities and Exchange Commission, that this is long overdue. It ought to have come long before now, especially seeing as the market is beginning to pick up again. And if it's not done now, then there's a probability that when any shock comes, the market will be shaking more than it ought to.
You have to look at the function of a stockbroker. A stockbroker is not a bank. It doesn't keep money of anybody in his account. You're just someone that is a broker. You collect money from people and you buy shares. Simple. So you must have money to maintain your operations in an efficient manner, right? And issuance is someone that goes out to raise money for people. If you want to underwrite, then the capacity must be there for you, right? So there's a difference between a bank that you are holding people's deposits. If you give me money to buy shares for you, I buy the shares. Your shares are with the registrars and the depository. Yes, they are not with me. You see. So what I'm saying is, it's good for us to have 20 foreign stockbrokers in the country. I think the best thing for us to do is to have as many brokers as possible to ensure the financial inclusion takes place. And I think the demutualization should be done quickly, so that the exchange can operate as a free company like any other company would do. We have the corporate governance well laid out as any other of the top exchanges in the world, and we're going to see things move. So I think there's a lot more to be done in the market. For instance, we have a lot of companies in the ASM, SME company, the SME sectors. They are not yet in the market. There was an IPO which was concluded last year, the first IPO for straight equity IPO for the past 5 years. It was in the ASM, and we will see a lot more activity there. We need a lot more firms to be able to do all these things and bring out these companies to the market. Those are the kind of things I rather want us to see, rather than bring up capital base, Jacob, that may cause some. It's a very good thing SEC is thinking about, but I'm saying it has to be done cautiously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still talking about this issue of capital requirement, the new capital requirement. Some have argued that it's not about how much a capital market operator has that guarantees good and appropriate behavior, but the level of corporate governance, in addition to issues like how much a market operator can put into a particular business and what business they can engage in, that really matters. But what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, it's all about efficiency, right? What you're selling is a very commoditized commodity, right? In essence, what I'm saying is, like, if you are buying First Bank shares, either through Morgan Capital or through Mr. Dagogo, it's saying First Bank shares. What you want as an investor is who is going to give it to you, who is going to buy it for you at the best price and the most efficient manner in which it make life easy for you. So in a such kind of business is purely service oriented. So what you have to look at is the efficiency of each of the houses, and also zero tolerance for infractions. If you've made any infraction, SEC should penalize according to the rules.
Yeah, because we know that some companies will actually penalize over the
if you look at the bandwagon effect, this may likely cause the market. As we speak today, we have over 30 firms that are ascribed as dead, inactive. In each of those firms, you have average of 5,000 shareholders. So if you multiply that by 30, that's 150,000 shareholders have the investment trapped.
150,000.
Yes, have the investment trapped in those houses. They can't. The investments are with CSS, right? But the houses, they have to pass through the houses, right? Those accounts are there. They've not been resolved. If this capitalization process were to be forced through, I can assure you that you're going to witness very little mergers or acquisition, because I'm speaking for my firm, I would rather not acquire any stockbroking firm, right? We have already made the capital base, but I would rather not acquire any stockbroking firm. The reason being that you can't conduct you must conduct 100% due diligence on any stockbroking firm before you can acquire it, because someone can only wake up to you and say to you, look, 5 years ago, I bought shares in XYZ company. They didn't pay me. We can't find the evidence. And the new owners will be calling to pay.
Yeah, because you see, based on the requirements that the Securities and Exchange Commission has now given as regards some of the stockbrokers and registrars and the rest of it, what you just mentioned might likely happen. And so it's also going to be another spanner in the works if companies such as yours will refuse to acquire a company that are probably among those 30 inactive that you talked about because of infractions and the rest of it.
Committed, yes.
So what now happens? Because at the end of the day, the investor is caught in between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Exactly what you're saying. Exactly what I've been saying, that look, it has to be very well guided. The policy, the safety net has to be very crafted. I've not seen any safety net. If you insist and say the capitalization process must continue, I will only see about 100 stockbroking firms dead, right? No one is willing to acquire them because you can't go through all the legacy issues. I don't want to go through legacy issues. It's not really worth it.
And then their funds, the investment is trapped. And how did they get it out?
The investments are with the CSS. They've invested in the but how will you get it out? That has not been crafted out. See, it could be crafted, but it has to be well laid out so that the investors themselves know it has been issued. Like I said, we already have over 30 firms that are pronounced dead, inactive, and some investors have had their investment in those firms for 5 years. More than that, they've not been able to move them out of those firms.
Okay.